Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Gather Creator Spotlight video. And here we are today with the fabulous Shannon Sundberg. So excited to be back with her again for the second time here as a Gather community creator. And Shannon is going to tell us a little bit new and improved of where she's at, what's going on with her business. So much has changed in the last 8 months or so in how you do what you do and how you're showing up. So I can't wait to hear you talk about what's going on for you and what you want to share with everyone who's watching in the Gather community. So Shannon, please take it away. Tell us a little bit about what's going on for you.
Thank you, Tracy. It's so great to be in the Gather community and sharing here with you today. And Shannon Sundberg, I am a mindset mentor, aromatherapist, and energetic healer. And so much has transitioned. And I started out doing aromatherapy and energy work, and my community wellness from within, I really felt like there was a missing piece to our wheel, and that came in the form of mindset. I can put a band-aid on, I can use an oil, I can do energy work, I can have better flow in my body. However, our mind is so powerful, and when we don't have a healthy mindset, it's not going to lead us to a healthy body or a healthy spirit.
Let me ask you really quick. This is super important, but I want to make sure we don't miss the bigger picture of what you're talking about, right? So you mentioned that the mindset piece was the piece that was missing in the wheel, but we've never really talked about wellness from within, what you do, what that is, what you do there, and then move into the mindset piece that you've added since you've had wellness from within already in existence. So go back a little bit for those who aren't in Pengrove and who don't already know you, and talk about, where that began and how this has transitioned for you.
Yes, so wellness within was my way of creating, think about planting a seed, and it comes from within itself and breaks open and it blooms and it is life. And I feel that through my own healing of looking at situations or hurts and things like that, that I can be using my tools, but really it had to come from within myself. And building that wheel and creating a balance to move through life was super important. And that was how I transitioned from having just a really negative outlook on life and always feeling like things were happening to me that weren't great, and why was this situation happening, and really kind of looking back into myself and creating and healing from within myself. Just it bloomed and kind of created this umbrella or wheel that brings such an amazing feeling of abundance and joy, positivity. And I really wanted to share that with so many others, because as a mom, as a businesswoman, as a wife, sister, daughter, all of those things that we have on our shoulders and responsibilities, how do we balance it all? And so creating that wellness, healing ourselves from within ourselves, using our tools, using our mindset, using our tools of raising our frequency, increasing our energy, supporting our body with oils. All of these are all great tools for creating that wellness from within ourselves so that we can move forward and dream bigger, have greater purpose, look at those dreams and not go, oh, that would be a nice dream, but actually take action every day creating those goals to get to those dreams. So, and that all comes from within ourselves.
Awesome. Awesome. So you had all these kind of tactical external tools. You mentioned using essential oils for supporting your body physically, mentally, all the things that I know that you do energy work and Reiki and things like that. And then you said, okay, well, that's all great, but it's not quite getting all of it's not encompassing everything that's needed. And so you moved into supporting people really with the thoughts that come before ever needing those tools. So talk about that mindset mentoring.
So the mindset mentoring, I love it. It is creating like your ooh la la life. It is that greater purpose. Like we all want to go to the next level, and there is a method that have 7 key areas, and the 7 areas are fitness, finance, family, faith, friends, fun, and oh my goodness.
What did you say finance?
I'm laughing because
I'm trying to remember because I know what they are.
Yes.
But I lost track.
I know. Okay, I will start over because I know them. Yes. Fitness, finance, family, field is
field. That's what I forgot.
Field. Oh my gosh. Field as in your career, your job, where we spend so much of our day. Field, faith, friends, and fun. And maybe I forget field because I love what I do. And it encompasses so much. But yeah. So these 7 key areas that can be plates in our life, and balancing all these plates, taking care of family. Sometimes we're spending more time on one than another. We have strengths and weaknesses, and using those strengths to keep our plates spinning, all 7 of them. Momentum can be created with our strengths to bring along those that maybe we're not so strong in. And accelerators that help keep that momentum going or speed it up, and working and looking at what's blocking our path, what's blocking our mindset, what is blocking us from moving forward. And so going through this great process of looking at those 7 areas, seeing how healthy you are in those areas, and creating that pathway, and then working every day with little baby steps, a minimum of 3 steps a day in a year, you're taking over 1,000 steps.
Wow. Yeah.
That's progress in anyone's book. So
absolutely. Oh, that's so cool. So I would imagine you start off with some sort of kind of assessment on like what's going great and what's not, where are your strengths, where are your weaknesses, things like that. So being here in that we're all here in Northern California, we're all kind of coming out of this pandemic, or, you know, by the time let's see, when is this going to air? This is probably going to air it's June. So I guess, I don't know if it's going to be this month or next month, but basically summer of 2021, right? Obviously a lot's changed in the last year to 2 years. And so are you finding that the norm is kind of changing compared to maybe where people were a couple of years ago, and how they're able to notice different things?
Yes, I think, you know, even for myself, just looking at how everything was rush, 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 get this done, taking on so much. And that 2020 year really brought things to a screeching halt. And then things started picking up because things could go virtual. And the great thing is, as things have been opening up, I have found that so many people have wanted to keep that slower pace, to spend the time and be productive versus being busy. We're only as busy as we let ourselves be.
Yes.
And taking the time for fitness. And fitness encompasses our physical activity along with what we put in and on our bodies. And so self-care falls in there. Are we taking care of ourselves? Well, if we're not, it's going to impede progress in other areas. Maybe you're not going to want to spend time with friends because your mood is down, because you've been eating, you physically don't feel good because you're not eating very well and you're not moving your body. So I have found that so many people have looked at where they want their new norm to be, and it's slower paced and intentional and authentic.
Yeah.
So it's been so refreshing to have that slower pace.
I love that. I love it because you're right. As business owners, okay, maybe we're not the typical woman out there, but when you take the business owner piece away from it, we're still moms and sisters and friends and all of those things that you mentioned earlier. And yeah, sometimes it feels like you have to keep up this rapid pace in order to just keep up with what's going on. But when you can look at all 7 areas and at least have awareness that there are other areas. Like, I think that's one of the big things, is to recognize that there's 7.
Yes.
Right.
Definitely.
Because maybe we don't even pay attention to the fact that fun is an important one, like just as important as the field, right? As having the career and the job and all that, or friends, right? Like, because friends can be friends, but friends and fun being separate, that's two totally different kind of thought processes, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Fun as far as like a hobby or things that you do for fun, whether it's with friends or not with friends.
Yeah.
I love it. So tell me, so what do you do when someone says, let's just use like one as an example. What do you do when someone says, I didn't even know like fun should be one of the categories? How would you help them to recognize how they can change their perception, their mindset around fun?
So first, we like you mentioned earlier, we do a assessment and see where you're at in these areas. And I love that you brought up fun, because that was an area of weakness for me, because
work.
I was so focused on field and finances and family that I forgot to do that fun piece. And so when I took a look, I needed to take that time and figure out what was fun for me again, because my focus had shifted so much. And so looking and then going, you know what, I'm going to have fun today. What does that mean? Does that mean running through the sprinklers with my son? Maybe that's what that means. And then I'm getting the family and the fun together. Is it taking the time to just have coffee and not talk about collaborations or business with a friend of mine, and keep the field out of it and just sit there and have fun and have coffee?
Yeah, nice.
And so seeing that area that you need that boost in, you can utilize your other F areas like friends and family and incorporate and boost up that fun.
Gotcha. So it's not even that like, oh, this one area needs attention. It's how can you use the other areas to build up the area that needs attention. I love that. That's really great. Really great. It's fun. Fun would definitely be the category for me as well. Last week, when we were on vacation, the kids and I went to an axe throwing place. Have you ever heard of that?
No, but
it's so cool. I saw it several years ago, and basically it's like going bowling or throwing darts, but with axes. and you throw them at a target, and and you play a game, right? Who gets points and all that. And so my two kids and I went, and we had the best time. And at the end, we were just like, this was so fun. We need to remember to do things like this more often, right? It was such a great opportunity for me to forget about anything that wasn't, it was allowed me to be super present, and it allowed me to connect with my kids in a way that didn't have any pressure. It wasn't like having a conversation, we were just hanging out, having a good time and laughing and making fun of each other or whatever when the acts didn't exactly go the way we thought it was supposed to go. So it was a really great opportunity to do exactly what you're talking about, which is to use like the family piece where my kids and I are really close, but use that to build up the fun. Let's do it together.
Yes.
And yeah, that was really great. So work in action right there. I love it. And yeah, I didn't pick fun because of anything I knew about you. So it's funny that although not so surprising, that we both had the same category that we need to work on. That's why we're here. Awesome. Well, this is so cool. So tell me one more question before we kind of wrap up. Tell me a little bit about, the idea of these 7 areas, these F areas for ULA, and the idea of community and how important it is to have other people in your journey to grow your mindset in all of these areas.
So something that I always come back to is when I was a kid, I remember my dad saying, you are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with the most. So if there is a toxic person, a negative person in that group, that's going to affect everyone in that group. And so community is so important. And being around other people that have a similar outlook, that are positive, that are joyful, that are looking to be better, do better, is so important. And so part of that community is, wellness from within and getting the support that, hey, it was, not a great day today, and that you can get some uplifting messages. You can get a hug and not have to reply with anything, that maybe you just need time to breathe. And that is something that I love building that up, and I love the people that surround me, and I want others to have that same amazing experience to move through life and go and live differently.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I found that it's all about that holding space, right? A couple of years ago, I was like, what does that even mean? Like, I hadn't processed the term holding space for people. And all of a sudden one day it clicked, because that's what you're doing for all of the people that you're introducing this to, right? People who are looking for that way to balance all those spinning plates are looking for examples in other people who have been on this journey already. And so there you are, and you have other people in your community who this new person who doesn't know anything about what you're doing can just be a part of that circle and feel supported and feel like that space is there waiting for them to be able to make that change. However, those 3 little steps just today is all that they need to do. So I love it so much. That's why Gather exists, so that we can build these groups of people together. I totally believe in the 5 people you surround yourself with mentality, because I've seen it, right? We've all seen it happen. And many of us have had those people who maybe they're not in our lives anymore, and we're like, that was not a good situation. And this is much more supportive, right? This environment in this community is more supportive of where I'm, not only where I am, but where I'm going.
Yes.
And so I see you creating that in your community on Facebook and in the work that you're doing at your place in Pengrove and all of that. And of course, in all of our Gather community people as well. So excited for that. Awesome. Well, let's do this. So it is summer of 2021, and obviously this is the internet, so things are going to last forever. But what's going on for you, say, second half of this year that you're excited about and you want to share? Any workshops, programs, anything that's going on?
So I regularly offer like a half-day workshop to get that introduction to the 7Fs, and we touch on where you are, where you want to go, and creating the steps, the path, and then we touch on each of the 7Fs. And so that's a half-day program that I offer very regularly. And I also have a month-long program and a 3-month program that can be done individually or in a group setting. And so I have those starting constantly every 6 weeks. So those are always available. And this summer, I'm actually just getting out. I'm finishing the flyer today to offer a 10-week savvy summer education series about using essential oils.
Nice.
So it's a different topic every week. And it's just a super exciting little series that I did a couple of years ago, and now there's all these wonderful upgrades, and it's great for anyone who wants to learn more about them, who is into DIY or not, just learning more, and some great basics, lots of recipes. So that's something that I'm getting back to from a couple of years ago with a lot of upgrades and fun, all done virtually. So it's 2 years ago, we did it in person, and now it's going to be virtual and
for anyone, everywhere, wherever we are. And I love, the idea of things like that really supporting your physical well-being, your mindset, all of, again, the different areas, the different Fs. Like there's so many other tools out there in support of all those areas that it just helps it all get more into balance, as you said.
Yes. Yeah. So those
Love
are some great things coming up. And
excellent. Well, great. And we know that obviously people can find you here and on our landing page at gatherinsantacruz.com. We've got all your information in your bio and all that. Tell people where's the best place to reach out to you if they want to find out more about what it is that's coming up right away.
So Facebook is great. I'm on Facebook. They can call. I also have a website that we are getting ready to upgrade with this new summer series coming up, and that is shannonsundbergcoach.com.
Excellent. Perfect. Well, thank you again for your time today. For this catch up is great, right? Because while we are connected a lot, we don't get to do a lot of one-on-one real catch up on what's going on. So love it. Thankful to have you in our community. Love to you, love to your family. And we will see you again super soon.
All right. Thank you, Tracy.
Thanks. Mwah.